everyone, welcome back to Dees Nerds. I'm Michelle.
I'm Chris.
And I'm back! Hi!
Hi! It's so glad to have you back, by the way.
So, we just got back from vacation a few days ago, and we did some things while we were on vacation.
We went nuts, basically.
Arguably, we did too many things, but it's okay. And this isn't even all of it. You know why? Because I got a book haul coming. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we went crazy part of our vacation, because where we live, there's not a whole lot of like used, like physical media places.
Or any places.
Or any places, unless you go to Walmart. So, I mean, we went to Northwest Arkansas, and of course they had a bunch of vintage stocks, Barnes & Nobles.
Best Buy.
And we just went crazy. So we bought all the things. I've got a ton of CDs back behind this ton of movies. And we're just going to go through what we got and just kind of do a little show and tell because we're really excited. And I think, Michelle, we just really need to lead off with the most excited I have ever seen you, except for maybe like Christmas, potentially when Charlotte was born. But I don't know which one. But, let's just go into the story because this story is fantastic.
Okay, so if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, you know that these Steelbook beautiful box sets came out last year. Mm-hmm. And they were limited edition, and I was ready to order them the moment that they became available. And in doing some research, Chris was like, you know what? I think they're going to come out with a bigger set. It's going to have more special features and all this stuff next year. And I was like, maybe I should just wait. So I didn't order them. Well, then, all the things happened, and the box set is not happening anytime soon.
It looks like.
And so I just thought these were lost to me forever.
And this was like my greatest failure because she loved the look of the steelbooks and how they looked. And of course I have my wonderful Burton Schumacher Batman set that just looks amazing as well. So I really felt like I screwed the pooch.
So anyway, they were gone. It was like one of those you could pay for some massive amount on eBay, or you could just live without them. And so I was just choosing to live without them. And then we walk into the Best Buy on the first day of our vacation, and we walk up to the first display at the front of the store that's got a bunch of stuff on it. And I walk around the back of it, and I just see this just sitting there all by itself. And I grabbed it, and it was one of those things like I just went, and I held it to him, and I was just like, ah.
I was very surprised
because we didn't think they made them anymore.
And everybody assumed they were out of print. If they're back in print, because that you'll later go and tell a story. If they're back in print, please tell me. But everything I read said they were out of print and unavailable.
Well, and when I had even looked on Best Buy's website previously, it just wouldn't even show you that they existed, period, unless you went through Google to look for them, and then it would just show unavailable.
Yeah.
So I thought they were gone. So anyway, we found the Lord of the Rings set. There was a spot on the shelf for this, but we never actually saw it in the store. For the Hobbit, sorry. So I was like, you know what? If I never see this again, if I never get the other one, that's okay. I've got this one. It's my favorite anyway. Like, I'm just so happy. I literally walked around the store with it, hugging it like this the entire rest of the time we were in the store. Yeah. I went to the bathroom at one point and told him to hold on to it. And he thought it would be funny to set it on a shelf somewhere and then pretend like he set it down and left it. And it was not cool.
Your reaction was great. Where is it?
Like, you can't leave that. I may never see another one again. So anyway, I buy it. I'm ecstatic. We leave. We go to dinner a little bit later. And I'm like, I wonder if they at the other store, like in the next town over, the other Best Buy has maybe the Hobbit box set. So I look online. Well, of course, it immediately kicks you to the closest Best Buy, which was basically across the street from where we were eating. And it was like, hey, they have 3 in stock. I was like, excuse me? Because I looked all over that store and they were definitely not there. So I ordered it for pickup while we were sitting at dinner, and then after dinner we went and picked it up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have no idea if they're actually back in print or if we somehow got lucky and somebody found some magical stock of them somewhere, but I'm a very happy Lord of the Rings fan right now. They're very pretty. I mean, like, if you haven't actually seen these, they're just beautiful.
Yeah.
All
the
6
designs
of them are beautiful.
Absolutely fantastic. We have watched and I know like how they look, especially Lord of the Rings, is the subject of some controversy. We have only watched the first Hobbit so far, and I mean, I just tell, in some cases, I think I'm pretty want to be very traditional to what the original intent was. In some cases, I kind of like some revisionist kind of thinking. I think the first Hobbit looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm very interested to see what the Lord of the Rings looks like, though.
Yeah, I think, to me at least, in the first Hobbit movie, the thing that I noticed is that lighting just looked more like real light.
Which would make sense with HDR kind of stuff.
So I'll be interested to see how that affects these, because these are so much older. But yeah, these I just felt like it took, like if they were in daylight, it looked like daylight. If there was candlelight, it looked like candlelight. So that was the main thing that I noticed, but it was beautiful. So I'm just so happy to finally be the proud owner of these beautiful babies. These are my precious.
So now we can get rid of your Lord of the Rings Blu-ray set, right? That's signed by Sean Astin?
No. We will keep all of them.
Okay. Gotcha.
I still kick myself from getting rid of my original extended edition box set of DVDs, so.
Yeah, those look pretty cool. They look like the books, kind of, yeah. That was pretty cool.
I would have all of them.
So that was the big deal there. Now, the rest of kind of what's in the movie, we'll talk about this stack here in a little bit, but the rest of these were mainly at vintage stock, where, I keep a list of films I want to get on physical media, and it's great for when you walk into a place like that, because you refer to the list, you go down, you just try to find it. If it's there, if it's a better price, and you could get on, say, Amazon or Best Buy or something like that, then you pick it up. And I think we hit, especially with the Scream Factory kind of stuff, we hit the jackpot on. We'll start with this stack. First we got They Live, one of the great John Carpenter films. After this whole haul is said and done, we have everything John Carpenter directed, with the exception of 4 films. So I think that's now that's a bigger deal for me than you, but for me that's pretty special. But we did get They Live, of course, one of his best, I think. Just absolutely spectacular. We picked up Slumdog Millionaire. That's one that we had on DVD that we wanted to get on Blu-ray. I have never seen this.
And I saw it at the movies when it came out and really loved it. And I've had the DVD for a long time, but it's been a long time since I've really watched a DVD because they look just sad. So
Absolutely. They do. This is all first world problems, right? But yeah, so I've always wanted to see this one, but just never gotten around to it. So I'm very happy with that one.
Next is one that was on my list. It was Silver Linings Playbook. We saw this when it came out, available to rent on streaming back when the movie came out. We rented it, but I haven't watched it since then, and it's been on my list, so I was glad to find it for a good deal at Vintage Stock.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good movie. This was another one you picked up, Zero Dark 30. I know it's one of those that got a lot of Oscar buzz when it came out. Actually, it's a Golden Globe winner. A lot of buzz around it whenever this came out. I've never actually seen it. You haven't either?
I haven't either. It is. It's not the type of movie we normally go for, but I love Jessica Chastain, so.
Yeah. So, you know what? It'll probably be amazing. This is one that Michelle hates. Well, at least she hates the song, but Purple Rain, Purple Rain. I got this one for me. This was actually at Barnes & Noble for like $4.99.
Which I would just like to say that the first Barnes & Noble we walked into, Christopher's like, yeah, I don't ever buy any physical media at Barnes & Noble. It's just always like retail price and it's just too expensive.
That is true.
Cue to like 10 CDs and a handful of movies later.
But we walked in during the Criterion 50% sale, and I apparently never knew that they had a bunch of CDs at $4.99. That's still the first time that's happened. So, whatever. I also was on vacation and didn't care. So, our budget is in shambles. That's okay. But again, great movie. Actually, I think, even though you're not a big fan of Prince's music, I think the movie's really good, though. So I think you'll enjoy it. She does not like the song Purple Rain, though. You can let her know what you think about that in the comments. Because I love that album, love that song. So this is another John Carpenter film, Prince of Darkness. Picked that up as well. I think this is one of the more underrated Carpenter films. Been a long time since I watched it, but I'm happy to have this on physical media. This is one, actually, that I believe you said you teach quite a bit on.
Yeah, I teach The Outsiders.
So you can talk about that.
This is Francis Ford Coppola's Outsiders. And this is one of those casts that, like, they weren't all a big deal at the time, but man, they all became a big deal later.
Boy, didn't they?
I think Patrick Swayze was probably the biggest deal at this point in time, but it's such a good adaptation. It's not perfect. Movie adaptations never are when it comes to books, but it's really darn close, and I think it definitely captures the spirit of everything that takes place in that book. So I was glad to get an actual copy of it because I've never had one. I just always had a streaming version. Yeah.
And next up was, we have the remake of My Bloody Valentine. I've never actually, and again,
I have thoughts.
I know you do, and I do too. I still love it for the piece of trash it is. But I did hear, I've never actually seen the original, and so I had it on the list, but we actually found the Steelbook from Scream Factory. I was like, heck yeah, dude!
Which, if you're into a lot of those boutique labels and stuff, it wouldn't have been the place I thought to look for it, but Vintage Stock has tons of it.
Yeah.
We had a couple of really oddball boutique label things at Vintage Stock that I would have never thought to see, so that was cool.
So I'm very interested to see how that one is, and like I said, in the slasher world, it's typically held in pretty high regard, so I'm kind of excited about it. This is one that you picked out.
Oh,
so
yes.
She picked up Karate Kid.
Yes.
Weirdly, we didn't have that.
A total classic.
Like, how do we be... We're both born in the 80s. How do we not have that movie?
I don't know, but I remember I used to watch this a ton as a kid, and also the Hilary Swank one that people tend not to like for whatever reason, the next Karate Kid, but I liked it. It used to come on Disney all the time.
Yeah. Now, this one was the other thing that we picked up at Best Buy, but it is the 4K Steelbook of Jumanji.
Which is a super cool steelbook.
And I figured, like, we had it on Blu-ray, but we had the two sequels, basically, on 4K. It's like, well, why not have that on? And plus, the steelbook is absolutely awesome.
The inside of it actually looks like the game board from the film, so it's very nifty.
And then this one was for me. I just dearly love the Views universe and Kevin Smith's films. So, and have yet to see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. It was on sale for like $4.99 or something like that. So I picked it up. Absolutely, had to do it. Haven't seen it yet, but I figure it'll be awesome. So the next one is Event Horizon. Weirdly, I've never seen this movie.
I haven't either, and I love space movies and space horror, so...
But this is kind of one of those movies that I always hear talked about really in good terms. So I'm very excited, and this was also really cheap as well, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was at Vintage Stock. So
yeah, this I think was probably like the cheapest.
That was definitely. I think this next one is one of the good finds we had.
So I just found this one like on an end cap. I wasn't looking for it. It wasn't on our list, but it's The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is the Keanu Reeves version. But the thing was, this is a 3-disc edition, and one of the discs is actually
the 1951.
Yeah. So it's got both, and it was $4.
Yeah, $4. And that's a complete win because that thing is in great shape.
Yeah, it looks like it's never even been looked at, really. So we were pretty excited to find that one, or at least I was, and then showed it to him, and then he was excited.
Yeah, and this next one is another Scream Factory one, but this one's for me because you don't like this one at all.
No, I saw this one back in college. I am still traumatized, and it took some serious work for him to get me watch any zombie movies after this thing.
Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I think this is fantastic, and the fact that we were able to find it used with the slipcover.
Wait, was it used?
Yeah, it was used.
Oh.
Yeah. Win. Absolute win. And so I am very excited to have this one, although I'm pretty sure I'll be watching it alone. Next one. Oh, this one. Okay, now I may have to turn in my horror fan card with these two, but I have yet to have Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, or Army of Darkness on physical media. Well, we fixed that now, and we were able to find some good used versions of it, and I'm really excited to kind of show Michelle these, because I don't believe you've seen them, have you?
I've seen Army of Darkness. I've not seen the other two.
But I mean, come on, Bruce Campbell, the legend. This one was one that was actually interesting, because this one was actually new, and compared to Amazon new, normally whenever you see something in stores, or at least my experience is, we see something in the store, it's generally going to be a little bit more expensive than you see it on online retailers. Well, this was $8 cheaper new in Vintage Stock than it was on Amazon, but we finally got House on Haunted Hill, the remake, which I'm not going to say it's better than the Vincent Price version, because I love that one, but it is very, like, they're neck and neck. This was a very solid remake. Normally remakes don't work. This worked really well, and I know you liked it as well.
Yeah, I don't remember it very well. I just know I remember watching it on TV as a teenager, but what I want to know now that I've seen the Vincent Price version a lot more is there a blonde woman that does nothing but scream in this movie? Because in the Vincent Price version, I swear that like 90% of that girl's lines were, ah!
Yeah. And then we also had the Green Mile. That was for $4.99. So hey, pick it up, because come on, Tom Hanks, Michael Clark Duncan in his best role, and you just can't do anything better than that, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is another John Carpenter film, In the Mouth of Madness. You know, I mean, come on. This is just complete bonker stuff right here. But I'm very happy to own that one. Especially, I mean, anytime I can get something from Scream Factory, Shout Factory, I'm down for it.
So this next one is a Storytime story because...
Yeah, it is.
I've watched this one for years with my parents and absolutely love this movie. We tried to order it last year or the year before. Mm-hmm. It shipped and it never showed up. We got refunded. Like, it just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Thanks, Amazon.
So we've been waiting ever since then to pick it up. Well, then we actually saw it in vintage stock. It is a new one. But we picked it up because it was like, it's here in person and it won't get lost in the mail.
Absolutely. And that's just a great film.
It really
Again,
is.
Tom Hanks. You cannot go wrong with Tom Hanks.
It's like a comedy drama, I don't know, comedy horror or something like that almost.
Yeah. And so this one is one you kind of picked up because, I mean, this was especially around the time that, you know, Ben Affleck, I guess, had his big comeback and showed like, hey, I'm a pretty good director, but picked up a 2-pack of Argo and The Town. I don't think I've seen either one of these.
I know I haven't.
But I know like they come very highly regarded, so I'm interested to seeing that because I like Ben Affleck. I always thought he's done really good work.
And it was a good vintage stock deal, so if they're terrible, I mean, we didn't pay that much for them.
Now this is one you were looking forward to, so I'll let you talk about it a little bit.
Oh yeah, so this is American Graffiti, and I found this one for cheaper than what it was on Amazon as well, and I don't remember if it was new or used, but anyway, it was cheaper. So I was really interested in this one because this was like George Lucas's first big thing, and it's where he got to start working with Harrison Ford, and then he went on to work with him in Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all that business. So I've just always been interested to see it because I remembered hearing about it way back in, I guess, high school when I was watching all the special features on the DVDs of, you know, the making of Star Wars and everything. So I think this will be a cool one. It's like kind of a coming of age type story, I think. So it'll be good.
Absolutely.
Although I just want to point out, this had this, okay, I thought this was the front of the box, like when I picked it up, like, because it looks like it is. And then we unwrapped it, and this isn't connected, and it doesn't fit in the sleeve, and it doesn't fit in the box, but it looks cool. So I don't know what to do with it.
It's like not a slipcover, and at first I thought, oh, well, they like ripped it or something, but like the lines look clean. It's almost like it was just a card that...
Yeah, it was just like a card stuck in the plastic packaging. I don't know, but it looks cool, and I don't know what to do with it now.
Absolutely. So this is one that, you know, of course, with Chadwick Boseman's untimely death, it's just, you know, really wanting to go back and, okay, what did I miss? And one of them was, you know, that he was Jackie Robinson, 42. Like I said, don't know very much about this, but I figure it's Chadwick Boseman, and it's about Jackie Robinson, and Harrison Ford's also in it. It's got to be good. So, I mean, come on. But that still hurts that he's, I mean, it's just gone too soon, man. Too young.
All right, next up is one that I had not seen in years. I had actually almost forgotten about it. But it's Buried Alive with Tim Matheson. And this is actually a made-for-TV movie. It's like a thriller, would you say a thriller?
Yeah. Definitely a thriller.
So the gist of the story is in the title. Tim Matheson's very pleasant-looking wife on the front cover here
I have thoughts.
tries and fails to kill him, although she thinks that she succeeded up to the point where they actually bury him and have his funeral. And then, of course, he wakes up underground and, as you can see from the cover, busts his way out, and then some things happen. But for a TV movie, man, this thing's good.
It really was. They don't make TV movies like this anymore. Like this, I would go see in a theater. Mm-hmm. This was spectacular. And I'm going to tell you, like, who was the actress in this?
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, or Leigh, something, I don't know. But I haven't disliked a character like this since Umbridge. And that's saying something. She is just a mean, nasty person in every single shape and form. It's absolutely stunning that someone can be so unlikable. And when, you know, I won't say anything about what happens, but let's just say you're cheering for her to get her comeuppance. You're definitely cheering for her to get her comeuppance.
She's definitely like top 5 RBF faces of all time because she has like a permanent one.
Like even when she's smiling, like she smiles like really sinisterly. It's just like I said, I was so rude. Like yeah, get her. And like, and even like I forget the actor's name, but he was, you know, the little smarmy little reporter from Die Hard. but he's in this as well, and he plays the same role every time. Like
William
he plays,
Atherton, I guess.
yeah. But I'm sure he's like a really nice guy in public or like in real life. But like every character he plays is just not a good person at all. So, but I love this movie. This was a really fun one.
Yeah, it's really good. And I think to me the only things that make it so that I can tell that it was made for TV are that there's like minimal to no swearing, and where there could have easily been nudity, there wasn't.
Yeah.
So I feel like those are the two markers of like you can tell it was made for TV. But other than that, it's really well done.
Yeah. So now we move to the Criterions that we picked up at Barnes & Noble because, of course, it was a 50% off sale that they do every year.
But Christopher never buys anything at Barnes & Noble.
I didn't. I never have bought a movie from Barnes & Noble until this trip. Rules are there to be broken, so it's all cool. So on our Criterion stuff here, we did pick up The Princess Bride in cool digipack form.
Yeah.
You had to work for that one.
I did. It said it was one of those things where it said they had it in stock online, and then I couldn't find it anywhere. So I went and bugged the guy at the help desk or whatever.
We were those people.
He starts looking for it. He was really determined, though. Like, I'll give him credit. He went and actually checked the holds, and apparently somebody had it on hold behind the counter, but there was no name on it, so he took it for me. Ha ha ha. But,
you snooze, you lose.
But it's really cool. I don't know how well you can tell, but it's like a storybook, like cloth bound texture with like the printing on it. And then it actually is set up like a book. So all the information about the story and like a couple little like excerpts and essays and stuff that are in here, all in the front. And then the actual movie there in the back. So very cool.
Now, one that I was really excited to get is one that's been on the list for quite a while since it came out is the original War of the Worlds. And what I love about this also includes the radio program from I guess it was, I think, the early 40s, where, you know, like basically people were panicking in the streets because they thought it was real. So that's included as one of the special features, and I'm just really excited because that's like one of the great sci-fi films of all time. The other one, of course, the classic Anthony Hopkins Silence of the Lambs. Like this one I'm excited to see because we already have it as part of like a Hannibal Lecter collection. But I'm really excited to see how the picture quality is a little different. So the next two add to our Alfred Hitchcock collections, and we just couldn't turn down that opportunity. Hitchcock, come on. So we got the 39 Steps, which I'm very interested, of course, to watch anything from Hitchcock, but also Foreign Correspondent. So just the fact that they're Criterion and that it's Hitchcock, it was like can't miss, gotta have it. And then this one here is actually one that you picked out that you were really excited about.
It's 1984, and this is with John Hurt. And I saw this one, I think I've only ever seen it once, but I saw it back in high school. So we read this book as seniors, and then we watched the movie, which Christopher goes, well, have you showed that movie in your class? No, I don't teach that book, and also there's nudity. I don't know how my teacher got away with showing it to us in high school. It did. I mean, I don't think it fazed any of us really, but yeah, I wouldn't dare do that now. But yeah, it's a really good, well done adaptation from what I remember. So I'll be looking forward to watching this. It's one of my favorite books.
Absolutely. Now we move to the CDs. So you're wondering, like, okay, why are we talking about CDs? Well, I am wanting to talk more about music on the channel. Definitely want to kind of cover some of my favorite artists and discuss that a little bit more deeply as we kind of move throughout. But the main thing also was in my physical media collecting is whereas I see vinyl really exploding now and becoming just this huge market, I find myself gravitating back to CDs. I think it has more to do with nostalgia than anything else because that's what I grew up with. And so I've really been wanting to collect a lot more CDs lately. Going to Vintage Stock and Barnes & Noble, it definitely provided me ample amount of opportunity, as you can see. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I picked up. And of course, you know, like I love like a lot of older music as well. So definitely you'll see kind of where my taste lies as we move through here. But the first thing was, of course, I'm a huge fan of Creedence Clearwater Revival and John Fogerty. And one of his best solo albums for right there is Blue Moon Swamp. So we picked that up. And also as well, I want to also mention Block Street Records in Fayetteville, Arkansas is another area, another great record store over there if you if you're over in the Northwest Arkansas area, stop by there. It's literally one of the best record stores I've ever been in. Absolutely phenomenal. Also, I'm a big fan as a guitar player, big fan, and you are as well, a big fan of Jeff Beck. So I picked up 2 albums from Jeff Beck on there. We picked up just named Jeff, which, perfectly named, but then also, Jeff Beck's Guitar Shop. So, and this is actually one of my favorites by him, so I'm happy to have that on CD as well. We also picked up, I love Pink Floyd, and I've been trying to collect 2 artists and get their whole discography on CD. I've been trying to get Pink Floyd and Tom Petty. And we'll go into Tom Petty a little bit here in a little bit. But I was able to find Wish You Were Here on CD. And I think this is probably, it's got to be between it, Dark Side of the Moon, between it being my favorite Pink Floyd album. And this is just so good. 5 songs, but it's just amazing. Another one, as well, we're huge fans of the Black Keys. Mm-hmm. And so that was, again, another target. I want to pick up as many on CD as I can, but of course, I would say their breakout album, Brothers, which includes, like Tighten Up was one of their big hits, Howlin' For You. So that was cool to get that, and that was also used, so that was great. And then I also love The Doors from the 60s, Jim Morrison. So I picked up 3 CDs there. Waiting for the Sun, The Soft Parade, which I would say is probably their weakest album, but I still wanted it. And Morrison Hotel, which contains probably my favorite Doors song, Roadhouse Blues. So, very excited there. Also a big Bob Seger fan. Michelle.
Bob Seger!
Every time I say Bob Seger.
Bob Seger!
So, I was playing with my band several years ago at a place here local. And there was this one, we did one Bob Seger song, I can't remember which one it was. Like, we did like Turn the Page.
Yeah, that was it.
I think it was one of those. But, like, he thought that we just did Bob Seger solo. So after every single song, the rest of the night, this drunk would just yell out, Bob Seger! And so, like...
So it's like the family joke now.
Yeah, no, it's a family joke. But I picked up, actually, one of his albums from 95, like right before he took a big hiatus to spend more time with his kids. But it's a mystery. But, this is a great CD as well. As well as with Tom Petty. Like I said, wanting to collect more of his music. I've always been a huge fan. Actually got to see him back in 2012 live in Little Rock, and it was just absolutely spectacular. But we picked up, he did the soundtrack for a film called She's the One, so picked that up. We also picked up Echo, and then his last album with the Heartbreakers before his tragic death, Hypnotic Eye, which this just proved that even at, right before his death, a couple of years before his death, they were still making great music and still putting out really good stuff. Another favorite of mine, and this one's a little bit more obscure, but a gentleman by the name of Doyle Bramhall, really great producer, singer, songwriter. You may know him with his work with Stevie Ray Vaughan. He co-wrote several of Stevie Ray's biggest songs. But I picked up a couple of his solo CDs. So that was Bird Nests on the Ground and Fitchburg Street. And, as far as blues, Americana stuff kind of goes, he's just really spectacular. I also picked up one of Bruce Springsteen's best albums and probably his starkest and most stripped down, Nebraska. I mean, that's just a classic album no matter who you are. And then I'm a huge Eric Clapton fan. You are too. And we actually got to go to Crossroads 2019. And you finally got to see Eric Clapton. I've seen him a couple times before. That was really fun. But, of course, we picked up several Eric Clapton CDs. So, one of your actual favorites, this one kind of snuck up on me, but Old Sock, one of his latter-day albums, and it's really laid back, but I know you fell in love with this one.
Yeah, I like the really chill sound, and so I really like that one. Apparently that wasn't a super popular opinion, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, but you know what? It is what it is. But this one was also, he did a tribute album with several other artists, namely Mark Knopfler, John Mayer, Willie Nelson, Tom Petty. They did a tribute to J.J. Cale. If you don't know who J.J. Cale is, look him up. Very influential singer-songwriter in rock and roll. And then we also picked up one of his 70s albums, No Reason to Cry. And then I think probably one of his, probably his greatest live album, 24 Nights. Picked that up, used as well. And then also, again, his duet album with J.J. Cale there, The Road to Escondido. And then the self-titled Clapton, which came out, I believe, around 2010. So, that was just a whole lot of Clapton there. And then another one that's a big favorite of both of ours is Mr. Gary Clark Jr. I mean, you haven't heard of that dude? Find him, because great artist. I mean, and he is current right now making spectacular music. And but I had the opportunity to pick some stuff up on CD, so I picked up his first album, Black and Blue, and then his second album, The Story of Sonny Boy Slim. Another big artist that I know you love probably more than I do is Green Day.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I know, like, one of your favorites was American Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But we also picked up a couple of course, their classic album, Dookie, and Warning. And then I also got on a huge Aerosmith kick because I was just, like I said, I was going insane. It was a vacation. I just didn't care anymore. But we picked up Permanent Vacation, Just Push Play, Get a Grip, Rocks, and Pump, with probably the funniest album cover of all time. And then the Rolling Stones, another big fan. I'm a huge fan of them, so picked up several other ones on that. But Bridges to Babylon, Undercover, that's probably, again, one of the weirder album covers I've seen. Steel Wheels, Voodoo Lounge, and Black and Blue. Another album titled Black and Blue. And then we had a couple here. These were Michelle finds.
Yes, these were my finds. I found these at Block Street Records, actually. I didn't try to look for soundtracks anywhere else. I just kind of stumbled upon them while we were at Block Street. And so I found Jurassic World.
Come on. That's a great soundtrack.
And Matrix Revolutions. So I would love to have the rest of them as well, but those were the ones that they actually had there. There were some other ones, but some of the CDs, of course, when you're buying things used and you can actually open them up and check them, sometimes you're like, ooh, that's kind of scratched. We're not going to do that one.
Actually, with two of the albums I had, I found a copy of Tom Petty's Echo at another vintage stock and opened it up afterwards, and it literally looked like somebody tried to clean the CD with steel wool. So it went back. And then we found another Clapton and J.J. Cale, Road to Escondido, and I opened it up, and I don't know what was on that disc. I'm going to assume it was peanut butter. I don't know, though, and I don't want to know. So it was peanut butter. So of course we returned those and found better ones at another location. So, but guys, that's it. I know this was a long video because, oh my gosh, we went crazy on vacation. Some people go on benders and drink a lot of booze. Apparently, we just
shop a lot.
A bunch of movies and music. So.
Which, don't forget, I also have a book haul coming up because, of course, while we were at Barnes & Noble, your friendly neighborhood book nerd really needed some more books.
Yep.
So there's a Star Wars book haul coming again and a regular book haul as well. So you'll see those coming very soon.
Absolutely. So as soon as I can get them edited and get them out there. So, all right, guys. Well, that is our physical media haul, I guess.
All the things.
We just went absolutely nuts with. Please let me know what your favorite thing that we got here is in the comments. We really would appreciate that. Also, if you like what we're doing here at the channel, we're just two nerds on one channel talking about the things we love and why we love them. If you like that, please subscribe. Also, we are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you're missing us in between videos, please be sure to catch us there. We also have merch. So if you want to support the channel, go down to the link down in the description and you can peruse our store and buy a t-shirt or something like that. So guys, hey, welcome back. I am so happy she's back. She's my better half and it's so much fun with her here. So guys, until next time, I'm Chris.
I'm Michelle.
And this is Dees Nerds. You guys have a great, safe rest of the day.
Bye.